What is all the beauty in the world? The image, like quivering boughs reflected in a stream, of that eternal orchard which abides unwithered in the hearts of perfect men.
Those words were written by Rumi, one of the greatest poets of the Islamic world. And in this garden at Shiraz, Hafiz, the supreme lyric poet of Persia, lies buried. Both followed the path of the mystics, though Rumi was a great master and Hafiz a humble seeker of God.
Where is the news of your coming, as a bride that will set free my soul? For I am that celestial bird whom the world's snares cannot hold. Grant me the day of my death a glimpse of thy beauty, and I, Hafiz, shall soar above life and the world.
In Islam, the way of the mystics is known as Sufism, and is often compared to a garden amid the arid hills of the world. It is the hidden, inward source of the life of the civilization, a path by which man may reach his ultimate end.
It is not known how far the destination is, but this much is certain, that music from afar is coming to my ears.
This garden in Iran was designed by one of the great Sufi masters of the 17th century, Sheikh Bahauddin Amili. Like many of the Sufis, he was an active man of great talents, the chief religious authority of Iran, a poet, a humorist, a great mathematician, an engineer, an architect who helped build the royal mosque at Isfahan, and above all, a guide on the path of spiritual knowledge.
Remove from our eyes the veil of ignorance and show us things as they really are. Make this phenomenal world the mirror to reflect the manifestation of thy beauty, not a veil to separate and repel us from thee. Cause these unreal phenomena of the universe to be for us the sources of knowledge and insight, not the causes of ignorance and blindness.
Architecture and gardens, music, poetry, and the other arts are often used as vehicles to carry the meaning of Sufism, but they are not essential to it. What is essential to it is dhikr, remembrance, concentration of all the faculties of the soul upon the divine reality, often with the help of rhythmic invocation. The Dome of the Rock at Jerusalem, the earliest and in some ways the most perfect Islamic building. After Mecca and Medina, it is the holiest shrine in Islam. Here the event which prefigures the inward journey of the Sufis took place, the night journey of the Prophet Muhammad.
Glory be to God, who took his servant on a night journey from the sacred mosque of the Kaaba to the farthest sanctuary, whose precincts are blessed, that we might show him some of our signs, for he is the one who hears and sees all.
Muhammad, to whom be blessings and peace, to the birthplaces of the Prophet. Give him the purity of Adam, the fineness of Noah, the lovableness of Abraham, the tongue of Ishmael, the patience of Jacob, the beauty of Joseph, the sweet voice of David, the endurance of Job, the austerity of John, and the loving kindness of Jesus, and pour upon him the virtues of all the prophets.
From the knowledge revealed to Muhammad has grown the tree of Sufism. Each leaf is a different tariqah, or Sufi order. Each of these orders has its own methods, but they share a common purpose. All over the Islamic world, small groups of Sufis meet in seclusion. Often they gather near the shrine of saints of their order.
Come, you lost atoms, to your center draw, and be the eternal mirror that you saw. Rays that have wandered into darkness wide, return, and back into your sun subside.
Dhikr, invocation of the name of God. A practice which in various forms all the Sufi orders hold in common.
There is in every man an incorruptible star, a substance called upon to become crystallized in immortality. It is eternally prefigured in the luminous proximity of the self. Man disengages this star from its temporal entanglements in truth, in prayer, and in virtue, and in them alone.
For Muslims, the world veils God, but it also mirrors his beauty. Life is to be accepted with gratitude and joy, because through it man can move towards eternal felicity. And not only man is on a journey.
To travel the path is not an exclusively human thing. All the species of the existent world are journeying to reach their goal and end. All things in the world of existence are on a journey to attain their goal, and man too is on a journey. But the goal of man is maturity, his end freedom. The motive for the traveling of all these things is love. Oh dear friend, the seed of all plants and the sperm of all animals is filled with love. Indeed, all the parts of the world of existence are drunk with love. For if there were no love, the sphere would not turn, the plants would not grow, the animals would not be born. All are full of love for themselves, strive to behold themselves, desire to see themselves as they really are, and to disclose the beloved to the eyes of the lover.
On the journey, the traveler needs a guide. That guide is the spiritual master.
Since you are blind, take care. Do not turn your head away from him that sees the road.
Each master forms a link in a continuous chain of spiritual transmission going back to the prophet.
The right thought is that which opens a way. The right way is that on which a spiritual king advances.
A man once asked the mystic Bayazid, "Who is the true prince?" "The man who cannot choose," said Bayazid. "The man for whom God's choice is the only possible choice."
I gazed into my own heart. There I saw him. He was nowhere else. Sometimes communities and even cities have grown up about the tomb of the saint. Fez in Morocco is built around the shrine of its founder and patron saint, Moulay Idris. The veneration in which such tombs are held is an extension of the veneration accorded to the Prophet's tomb at Medina. Blessings, or barakat, are received from this opening, which gives directly onto the tomb. Such a saint is like a mirror reflecting light. The barakat comes not from him, but from God.
The sunbeam shone on the wall. The wall received a borrowed splendor.
The graves of Sufi saints are remembered across the Islamic world.
There are many who possess all the arts as well as wealth and beauty, but not that meaning. There are many whose appearance is in ruins, who do not have a handsome face or elegance of speech, yet the meaning which is immortal is in them. It is by virtue of that meaning that man is ennobled and honored and has superiority over other creatures.
Full withdrawal from the world is not favored in Islam, and celibacy is discouraged as unnatural. But Sufis do sometimes withdraw for a limited period to concentrate on the remembrance of God. By the side of this shrine in southern Morocco is the nearest thing Islam knows to a monastery, a zawiya. In such a retreat, many of the great spiritual masters of Islam have guided their disciples. These buildings at Konya in Turkey mark the site at which one of the most loved of Sufi masters, Rumi, taught his disciples 7 centuries ago. He is now buried here. Rumi was a supreme poet, and through his verse the ideals of Sufism entered deeply into the culture of many lands.
Listen to the reed forlorn, breathing, ever since 'twas torn from its rushy bed, a strain of passionate love and pain. Would you learn how lovers bleed? Listen, listen to the reed.
Rumi founded an important Sufi order, the Mevlevi, or whirling dervishes, who use music and dance to heighten their consciousness of unity with God. His words are over the entrance.
Imperfect lovers are made perfect here.
It was now that he founded the concert and the whirling dance. The flame of divine love spread to the different corners of the earth, whose dwellers turned their faces towards our master. All men busied themselves ceaselessly with worship, music, and mutual love.
A bird is flying in the atmosphere of the unseen. Its shadow falls on a piece of earth. The body is the shadow of the shadow of the shadow of the heart. How is the body worthy of the rank of the heart?
It was very largely the Sufis who peacefully converted large parts of the Indian subcontinent to Islam, well before the establishment of the great Muslim dynasties there. Indonesia too was converted in this way. Sufism is still widespread among the Muslims of India and Pakistan. At a shrine such as that of the great saint Mian Mir at Lahore in Pakistan, it flourishes at a popular level. Few, if any, of these dancers will be Sufis in the strict sense, but they have caught something of its spirit, its perfume, as it were, and feel themselves drawn towards it.
The effect of music and dancing is deeper in proportion as the natures on which they act are simple and prone to emotion. They fan into a flame whatever love is already dormant in the heart, whether it be earthly and sensual, or divine and spiritual.
India was receptive. The Sufis were firm adherents of Islam, but many of them recognized that the inner core of the Hindu tradition was a valid path to the same end, and in turn their own spiritual eminence was recognized. The Mughal emperors, whose kingdom was perhaps the richest in the world at that time, paid the most sincere homage to Sufi masters. In Delhi, one of the greatest of these masters, Nizamuddin Auliya of the Chishti order, is buried. Nearby is another shrine, that of Emir Khusro, a great poet and musician of the 13th century. He is buried within a few yards of the saint to whom he gave an utter devotion.
Thou art such a king that should a pigeon perch on thy wall, it would become a royal hawk. A man of no account is at thy door. Give him the grace that he may enter.
A famous woman poet is buried nearby. Jahanara Begum was a devoted Sufi and the daughter of the emperor Shah Jahan. Her simple tomb is open to the sky.
Let nothing but plants cover my grave, for this is enough to cover the tomb of a stranger. The transient beggar woman, Jahanara, disciple of a Chishti master and daughter of Shah Jahan, the glorious ruler, whose mind may God illumine.
Khusro's poetry is the foundation on which Urdu, the language of Pakistan and Muslim India, rests, and the anniversary of his death maintains the links between Sufism and poetry. A mushaira, or poetry reading, is a frequent and popular event. People gather to recite their own poems on spiritual themes, sometimes to improvise and always to derive enjoyment from a living tradition.
नुमाइश क्यों करें ईमान की साहिबे ईमान नुमाइश क्यों करें ईमान की आओ हम इंसान हैं बातें करें इंसान की साहिबे ईमान नुमाइश क्यों करें इंसान की आओ हम इंसान हैं बातें करें इंसान की कुछ अली कुछ अहमद मुख्तार की बातें करें आओ हम नानक की कृष्ण अवतार की बातें
Khusro was as great a musician as he was a poet. It is said that it was he who introduced the sitar from Iran and adapted it to India. The principal event of his anniversary and the characteristic means of expression of Sufism in India and Pakistan is music. Qawwali, the singing of spiritual songs in praise of the saints. Here the praises of Khusro's master, Nizamuddin Awliya, are being sung. Some of the money given in appreciation and devotion will go to the musicians. The rest will form part of the zakat, the religious tax of Islam used for charity.
The heart of man has been so constituted by the Almighty that like a flint, it contains a hidden fire, which is evoked by music and harmony, and renders man beside himself with ecstasy. These harmonies are echoes of that higher world of beauty which we call the world of spirits. They remind man of his relationship to that world, and produce in him an emotion so deep and strange that he himself is powerless to explain it.
Call upon God in humility and in secret. Call upon him in awe and eager desire. Are not hearts at peace in the remembrance of God?